Hello, welcome back to the Off Grid family. Today I'm going to be fixing some of my laser goggles. I've only got one set and they were about £20 when I bought them. I'm sure they're not that, I'm sure they're much more expensive now. But one of the lenses just popped out one day and it just cracked. I'm not sure why. I hadn't like dropped them or anything. And I'm worried that when I'm using them that it might just fall out again when I'm actually needing them, and you know, it's not too safe. So I'm going to fix them hopefully, and if I do, brilliant. If I don't, I've got to buy some more. But it's all part of the plan, isn't it? We might as well try. Before I get on, I'd just like to thank my patrons. Darren in particular, you guys are awesome. I really appreciate everything you've done for me and the channel. You guys rock. If you'd like to join them, all the links are in the description. Yeah, but don't do it unless you can. Anyway, let's get on. Okay, so these are the bits I've got to fix them. I have some white vinegar spray. You can use anything you like. I'm just going to use that to clean up the actual lenses. I have a mixing stick. I pick up a few extras if I'm ever in a cafe, etc. I've got some masking tape to stick the actual bits that I'm gluing together, and I've got some quick cure epoxy, and also I've got the lid of a thing of Pringles. These are perfect for mixing different epoxies. Because they're silicone, they all just come straight off. I also have this microfiber cloth to put the lenses on so they don't get scratched on my desk. Okay, so the issue I've got is this broke, this twanged out of here, but it's actually because it's broken. It snapped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate this all out. I'm going to fix the piece that's broken and hopefully then stick it back together. It shouldn't be too difficult, but it's just going to be a bit fiddly, I think. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just slowly go around and slowly unpop these bits and just slowly take it apart. I think it'd be better to take them from the front. Hang on. I've not done this before, so yes. Could be an adventure. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is rigid plastic, the front bit, and this bit is a rubbery kind of, more comfortable for the face bit, I'd assume. Next, I'm going to pop the actual lenses out. Careful now, I don't want to cause any issues to them. The one that isn't broken is pretty well in there. I'm actually going to leave that one in then because it's far enough away from the damage, so I'm not going to get glue on it by mistake, and it just saves me having to fight to get that back in again. They are very, very tight in there, so I am a bit concerned that once I've glued this one, we're still going to have troubles getting the lens actually in. So let's get that out of the way. And next, let's get some epoxy mixed up. This is very, very cheap epoxy off eBay, I believe. I think I got 5 for about £10 back in the day. Right, I placed it on a pad just so that I can hopefully show you a little bit better, obviously because my desk is black. But I'm just going to pull it apart slightly, and I'm going to put a bit in each side. I did think about using just CA glue, but I found that for pieces like this that have a lot of tension on them, they tend to need a little bit more oomph. Right, I'm going to add a little bit more epoxy to the outer edge on both bits. Right, now I'm just going to get some tape and see if it's possible to hold it there. If it's not, then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, oh, it might be actually. I was going to say I might just hold it. No, I'm a bit concerned that that's not going to hold it quite right. Right, I'm literally just going to hold it. It should only be a couple of minutes and it should start sticking solid. Right, I'm just cleaning the actual lenses and they're alright. I've sprayed them both with the actual cleaning solution. Okay, that's a bit better. Right, this has stuck quite well. It may be ever so slightly out of alignment, I'm not sure. But one thing I need to do next is come in here with a knife or something and just scratch a bit of the glue out of here that's resting in the channel for the lens. We got this little doojit with a spiky bit on the end that's sort of curled over, and I'm just going to use that. I was going to use a knife, but I found this first. There we go. Right, next then we're going to try and get the lens back in without breaking it. If it breaks, then I'm not sure what the heck I'm going to do. But I'm also not sure which way round it goes, whether it goes in here, through the back, or if I have to put it in through the front. Yeah, I thought it might break again. I don't know what to do then, because it's so tight in here. Okay, so that didn't work. So what I did was I went off and I've glued it again just exactly the same way as we've done before. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to file down the joint. I'm going to file down this joint, get it as clean as I can, and then using a bit of, it's either PLA or ABS, I'm not sure, I can't remember. I'm just going to weld this to it, and I'm just going to build up sort of a layer using a soldering iron, and hopefully that will be enough to protect the sort of joint enough to get the lens back in, and then we're free to get on. So first things first, I'm going to take the time and just clean this up a bit. I really should cover this, but there's a theme in all my videos, which is I'm pretty lazy, so I'm not going to. And I'm just going to dab it on, and I'm going to just see if I can get it to adhere in such a way that it will allow me to just, you know, make some sort of something to keep the bond a bit tighter. Try not to breathe this in. Right. Just a little bit I've done has actually covered it, and it feels a little bit more secure already. That could just be, you know, placebo effect. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to rub this in and get it sort of shaped nicely, and then I think I'm going to just do another layer on top of that and see how that is. Because I've tried to do, you know, gluing it and everything multiple times, and each time it's failed. So it definitely needs something a little bit stronger, you know. Okay, that's the first bit. Next layer on. I'm literally just going to keep doing this. Right, I've layered loads up there. Okay, all I'm going to do now is just smooth this over the best I can, till it looks sort of some semblance of good. Obviously it'll never look great. Okay, so this is what we've got. They're not fantastic, but they are solid together. There's no way I'm pulling them apart now. So I'm just going to give these a little file. Then I'm going to probably go over it with a Sharpie because it will get all scratch marks in it. But I just want to file off the worst of it. But not too much, because I don't want to mess it up again. If I have to do this again, then I quit and I'm gonna just buy a new pair. Now obviously this is all surplus to requirement. As long as it's solid and it's not going to fall apart again, you don't need to do any more. I am just being a bit facetious because I can. Now I've got to try and get this lens back in. Okay, let's try down the bottom first. God, that does not want to go in. There we go. Wow, there's no way I'd have ever got that back in if I hadn't reinforced that other piece. Right, there is the patch. There we go. Some sort of like new laser goggles. Although this was all the start and you know what we thought we were going to use, it turned out to be as simple as a bit of PLA. Okay, what a palaver, but I finally got there in the end, so that's brilliant. It is done, they're working, and that shouldn't break there again. I think that's probably the strongest part of the glasses now. But it does mean if they do break again, I do know how to fix them, as long as it's the same sort of breakage. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons. Bye for now.